Let me turn my ashy voice. It's a rare condition this day and age. Watching Family Matters as an adult, we have to give it up for Harriet and Carl Winslow. They were the definition of our door is always open, but their big hearts allowed them to be rich in other areas. Carl was really a true father. Being a police officer is not an easy job, so for him to actually still be able to do that all day, come home and be present for his family says a lot. Hopefully Judy's still doing well upstairs. Just walked up them stairs and never came back. I said, whew, and then there were two. As the seasons progressed, they went from Family Matters to Steve Urkel and Family. The way Steve Urkel was at Carl's house, he may as well have moved in with everyone else. Now, when Rachel and Richie moved in, I understood she needed family support. But I also was side-eyeing her late husband like, okay, so he didn't leave y'all an insurance policy? With that money, she could have moved closer to them and came to visit, you know? But I'm like, dang, she had to move in too? I love Laura for the most part, but sometimes she gave Moesha energy. This situation was the prime example of when she did. She was so used to things going her way in other areas, but when it came down to her personal life, never did. The men she actually wanted that were on her same attractive level, like for example Ted, never were super serious about her and were just trying to, get into bed with her, and they were not respecting her on the level she deserved. I honestly think she should have focused on her education until the right guy came along, because sis was intelligent, okay? I honestly think Carl and Harriet wasted the college fund money on Eddie. It was never college material. They should have just waited, saved that money, and gave it to Laura so she could go to the college of her dreams. That's why it's important to know your kids, because if you know that certain things are not for them, don't push them in that direction, because they still will not succeed. He ended up being a cop. Laura never loved Steve. He was just always there. She blocked his blessing by getting in the way of him and Myra, because Myra truly loved him. Also, Myrtle was a character we never needed. They were just giving Jaleel White more camera time and just making him do anything to be seen. And to be honest, the Steve and Stefan switch, he could have stayed Stefan as they got older. Because in your childhood, you go through those awkward phases, and he could have been a nerd, like an awkward, nerdy kid. And then as they got older, like they start going to college, graduated high school, all that stuff, he could have grown into his Stefan era and stayed there. Then his relationship with Laura would have made sense. Maxine was never Laura's friend. She was always beside her because she low-key wanted her life and the attention she would get. Laura would be trying to help her, and sis was just, only for her to settle for Waldo Faldo. Let's not forget towards the end of the show when they replaced Harriet. Like we weren't going to notice.